Okay, good evening, everyone. It's March 4th, 6 o'clock p.m., and welcome to the Jefferson Township work session. We'll begin this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you all could please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we'll have a moment of silence to honor the military, firefighters, road workers, and sheriff deputies as they serve our community here and abroad. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee McLaughlin,
Present.
Trustee Back,
Present.
and Trustee Young.
Present. Up next is our budget presentation.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am before you today to go over our 2025 budget proposal. We passed the temporary budget in December. In that time, have spent time looking at our estimated revenue as well as our certificate of estimated resources coming in and all the spending that we've done last year. So today I'm gonna go over, kind of a little bit over our budget review as well as the activities that occurred in 2024, so you kind of can see what happened last year. I also provided you all with, it's not the final yet, I still need to get with my department heads to go over some things based on some of the requests that they've made. And so you have a draft of what the actual budget is, which you'll get, which, because this has to be approved before March 31st. Okay? So the budget is made up, this process is done with three different sources. You have your revenue estimates. I have when you guys adopt that, and I also have to make sure that our appropriation spending and our carryover balances don't exceed what we are trying to do here. This process starts in October, usually for us, where we get our tax advances, notice that we put in for the county for that piece of it. We also start looking at kind of what we've done from the last year. Usually at the end of the year, I do take from each budget to put into our reserve amount. So that part is building on some of the things that we are projecting in the future. And for that piece, for the fire department, one thing that we're looking at is potentially building on to one of the stations. That's a 5-10 year goal for us, which is why we take that out. For the road department, its equipment are also building onto the building. Again, those are out. For the admin department, it's similar with equipment or any type of repairs that may come to the building. So what we have in the end of the year, I believe I took 100,000 from the fire department to put towards their reserve. I took 50,000 from the road department, and I also put 50,000 from the admin, the general fund for those type of things right there. Now, this process, you guys have already given us the temporary appropriations, which is what we need to operate. You did that in December, and you will be adopting by the end of this month at our next board meeting the actual permanent budget for the remainder of the year. Now, with that piece of it, we do see flexes in our budget. So if we get more money in than expected, we go back and we bring some type of reappropriations to you, because if we're going to utilize that money, we have to report it to the county if that's coming in, and we want to make sure that anytime we add to our budget, it's reported the same way when we have to either move something or take it away. So the certificate of estimated resources, we recently received those, and I'm going to actually show you what those are. This is kind of what's coming in from our tax levies, both the inside millage and outside millage. Okay, so the first part, which we can give you the form that we have, which you approved this, I believe, in November is when you saw the full breakdown. But for the most part, this is the existing levies that we have going on. So in the general fund, we have two of them. We have a inside millage of 0.9 mils, which is bringing in about 92,869, and we have a second inside millage of 62 mils, which bringing in $38,740. Our total inside levy for the general fund coming in is $131,609. For road and bridges, we have three different ones that are coming in here. You can see the different totals there. And what that's bringing in for us is $311,705. Our police and EMS levy brings in $909,900 and $866. Our fire EMS levies bring in $1,265,348 here. So again, these are the existing levies that have been approved and are active, and every levy we have so far is continuous at this moment in time. So kind of what we're looking at as a whole operating piece here that is coming in the 2025 tax year is $2,400,433 and $272. Now, when it comes to our request, and I'll explain some of these to you, our general request is $1,552,721.20. And I will say that you'll see later in this presentation, we have a grant of $600,000, which is why our general budget is so higher. That's one of our grants. We have another one of $132,000. So we have several grants that are on top of that, which makes that number significantly higher for us this year. We got those in, we have to spend them. Let's see, our estimated revenue is $831,586.75. Our rollover amount, $322,709.33. In the road department, let's see, our request is $576,283. Estimated revenue coming in $325,689. Rollover amount $316,892. So our total estimated resources are higher than what the department is requesting. In the police district, our estimated resources, our request is $1.3 million. Our estimated resources are $920,898. Our rollover amount is $404,861.68. And again, even then, our request is less than our actual estimated resources. In the fire department, we're requesting $1.9 million. The estimated amount coming in is $1.2 million. The rollover is $627,176.21. And again, we're lower than what the requested amount is. And I will say, each year that I've been here, we have had a significant amount of rollover. So the requests that we have are based on the trends of what we're seeing. It doesn't mean that we're actually going to spend every bit of it. But we don't want to have to keep coming back to you if we under budget and we have to increase those resources. As you can see by the rollovers that we've had in all these ones of how much has come back to us. So I want to highlight a couple grants that we have right now that we got in 2024 that will be spent in 2025. I believe all of them have to be, either some was spent in 2024 and some were spent in 2025. So for our Blairwood project, we actually have received, I'm actually missing one on here. We got $122,000 from NatureWorks. We also received $50,000 from the CDBG fund from Montgomery County. And we got from the state of Ohio, the one-time strategic community investment grant. We received $600,000 from that grant. We have to make sure all these are spent out this year. So we also received in 2023, which we're finishing that project at Richardson Park, $75,000 from the CDBG fund of Montgomery County. We also received a Ohio BWC safety grant for $15,000 in our fire department. So that's some things. We've spent that $15,000. That part is gone, but the remaining amounts are still us. Like, we have to finish those projects. So let me give you a little overview now on some things that have occurred for the department, so you can just see some of the work that happened over the last year. So I'm gonna start with the Economic Development Department, which is responsible for our business license and compliances. At the end of 2024, they visited a total of 52 businesses. That 25 licenses were issued out. Of that amount, that was 2,500 that went into that program there. Some of the things that we are hoping to see from this program, in addition, they are, actually I think it's on my next slide, so we're working on not only helping some of the businesses get connected to some resources that are outside of here. We have missed out on the EDGE grant for the last 2 years because we hadn't been able to find a business to take advantage of that one. This group has stated that they would be interested in starting a township business alliance, of which that business alliance would actually take advantage of not only us being able to partner with some of the governmental entities around here with training and getting them connected to access to capital, to grants and resources, but also just hearing from them about some of the issues that they're experiencing in the township and how we can better serve them to make sure that they stay with us in the township and grow with us. In addition, the group has, of the 25 businesses that at the end of the year, I believe it was 12 businesses that were part of this group. They stated that they would be interested in monthly sessions to really just have a touch point, some actual business coaching, and some actual just different events to be able to expand that network out. And we've seen, again, in our region alone, there are a lot of small business resources that if you don't know about them, individuals out here are missing out on that. Some of the key partnerships that we were able to gain in 2024, we connected significantly more with Montgomery County Economic Development. We've also had an ongoing relationship with Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission. We've been working with Greater Dayton Premier Management on a couple projects. Mir Health has now started working with us on a couple projects. We've been working with Building Together Dayton, and we have been trying to we're working actively right now in partnership with the Dakota Center and the Senior Corps program. Next, in code enforcement, by the end of 2024, we had a total of 135 inspections. From property maintenance violations, we had 54 orders to cut. We had 9 building violations. We issued fines of $20,650, and we had 112 ongoing cases by the end of that period. We also were able to really launch the Property Maintenance Board of Appeals, where they did actually conduct a hearing last year, and that's really good now that we are able to give that appeals process that is resident-led, since most of the complaints that come in are either things that our code enforcement inspectors find themselves or things that people report to us online. We actually did also end up switching our actual online platform too, and we are seeing, it's always difficult when you change from one piece of software to another, but we're going now in a more accurate way now that we have that piece kind of under us. We also were able to accomplish several demolitions in that partnership with the land bank. Address is listed up there. We have been on a continuous grow with this program, which some of the grant money I mentioned earlier is to help us continue that process and continue to get dilapidated houses down out this area, so those are no longer health and safety risks in the area. In the road department, they did a lot of work with not only preparing for snowfall, the day in, night crew, several lawns. They cleared 14 lots. They completed 340 nuisance cuts. They repaired crosswalks and stop bars. They filled 50 potholes to improve road conditions. There were several upgrades that were made to the Blairwood Park. They sealed the basketball court, replaced rims over there, and installed barriers to prevent individuals from driving on the grass. We also launched a new work order system through here, again, because we switched from our prior software and we went into, it is called now Maintain X. The good part about that, we get to now, not only are we tracking what's coming in from citizens' requests for services, but we're also tracking the work that is happening both the day and the night shift to kind of see what the team is doing and how we're monitoring that. And they did do a couple community service outreach where they participated in the trunk or treat, and they did a collaboration with the church St. Peterson's House of Restoration. Zoning is kind of our prized place right now because zoning has been doing it. Karen over here. Now we're up like over 150% here. As you can see, the different things that came through in 2024 for permits. We ended with 84 total permits approved, with a total of $27,352.46. So it's really good that people are not only coming here and talking to us, but they're knowing what to do and how to move forward. So just a little breakdown, give you a couple of visuals of what that looks like in a couple of different forms. I have a bar graph for you, and now I'm going to also give you a pie chart so you can just kind of see how things are changing out here. I had a good time making it multiple ways. Put a little color on there too. So that part is going really well for us as we tell you, we see an influx of individuals all year long. In the past 2 years, we used to see a stoppage when it came to about October when it got cold out, but we did not experience that this year. Throughout the entire year, we have consistently seen individuals come in, whether it's for the BZA or individuals who are looking to do something with their homes and things like that. We also had an uptick for us as well as zoning violations, because in addition to people doing proactive work, we have more individuals reporting structures that didn't go through the proper process, and we have been increasing that side too to get individuals in compliance with the township standards. The fire department, they increased their total runs about 15%, so they had a total of 1,651. Had increased emergency calls, and our response time has been also increased in that piece of it. They installed 29 smoke detectors, conducted 11 CPR classes, which I think we have a CPR class coming up, don't we?
Yes, yes,
We
yes.
have one this Saturday, and we're always open to do more because we want people to learn how to do these life-saving measures. Unfortunately, the child car seat assistance program kind of closed in 2024, and we didn't have any giveaways on that one. But we did assist at least 2 parents with installation on the purchase of seats. The fire department also completed 52 residential and commercial inspections. They've completed 4 investigations. They inspected 266 hydrants, with reporting that 1 was down due to being removed by the fire department. So they're very active in not only the traditional things that they're doing, but the things that we have moving forward. Their fleet and equipment upgrade, as we all know, because Chief gives us great pictures when something nice happens for the fire department. I appreciate him for that. I wish the rest of the team would step it up, keep up with Chief. So the brush truck, it got an improved wildfire response. The tanker, they enhanced water supplies for the rural areas. We did last year add 3 full-time paramedics based on kind of how we saw the trends with going with kind of what our responses were. We saw, I believe, 70% of our calls were EMS emergency, so it made sense to go ahead and enhance that part of our department. And yes, we also stepped out into the training field here where we hosted in this very room a 3-day training event with the fire marshal, which was really great to see not only our team be able to take advantage of that, but other teams come in with us, which I will piggyback even in the zoning department. We were able to host the Zoning Alliance, and as a township, we hosted the Montgomery County Township Association. So we have been connecting with several different partners throughout the year to really ensure that not only we are at the forefront of getting information, but things that benefit us as a township, we are getting that information quickly. That is everything I have to share with you. Before I ask you questions, team, did I miss anything that you guys did last year that you want me to mention? It's like crickets.
One property that was omitted, the old in-between lounge there on 3rd Street. I forget the address. It's 6000 block, but that was also That was one of the first that was
Oh,
demolished.
6100, right behind, the Ruber stand?
Yes,
6100, I think it was 6100.
so that's it.
So yeah, overall, the team has been very active, and that was just the end of last year. We have equally been moving this year. We're in March right now. We're on our third round of demolitions that has happened since I've been in the township, and we're actively making sure that we make all those hits. So do you guys have any questions for me?
No.
All right, I would encourage you, because again, we are finalizing our budget, and I did want to give you those. I still have to give the fiscal officer to make sure my calculations match what's in her system. Even though I pulled stuff from there, feel free to have any time with me, and I can go over any questions that you may have.
Just one question. The rollover amounts.
Mhm.
I remember when I came in, there was an issue about where we were putting that money. Is it under the capital improvement,
No,
or
so-
have we changed that?
no, the rollover amounts are actually implemented in the budget because they're needed in that piece of it.
Okay.
We take out, you pass a resolution every time I move money into the capital improvement,
Okay.
and I usually do that at the end of the year because then we have a bigger idea of what they're not gonna spend,
Right.
mainly because there's not enough time to spend that piece of it.
Okay.
So those amounts are on there
Okay.
and in there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. Great job. I haven't heard this much going on in the township in a very long time. Very long time.
Okay. Up next is resolutions for consideration, starting with Resolution 25-034. Jefferson Township Board of Trustees do hereby hire Dr. William Bailey as the Public Safety Liaison.
So this resolution, as I spoke with you all about creating a public safety liaison, mainly to kind of work a little bit closer with our Montgomery County Sheriff, as well as assist with us getting some things accomplished on our side in that one. We had 3 candidates apply. Of the 3 candidates, we got down to 2 individuals who actually accepted interviews. The entire staff interviewed those 2, and then we brought those 2 forward to you all based on not only experience and actual, like, the feedback that we received from the staff. Dr. Bailey is a good choice of that individual. I will say that I do work with Dr. Bailey on the Dayton School Board, so I did disclose that to you guys as well, but it's not a job for us, 'cause we're on that piece of it. But he's an individual that had over 15 years in law enforcement experience, which is something other than Mr. Benningfield, none of us on our staff have in that piece. So he would be a really good asset to us. We want to see how this works. We've seen some success in the last year with the last position that I created, which was the split code enforcement and economic development, as you just saw the things that we were able to accomplish in that piece of it. So hoping that this position can move forward and we can actually really get a little bit more out of not only what we're hearing from our residents and how we work with the Montgomery County Sheriff.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Any questions? Okay, next is Resolution 25-035. Jefferson Township Board of Trustees do hereby add the probation term to the hiring of Derek Burgess as the Economic Development Coordinator.
This was an error on my part as I reviewed the resolutions. I saw that I did not have in the probationary term, which every person in the township is on a 1-year probation, and I wanted to make sure that that was added to it. So, and I highlighted that is the only line that has changed in that was added to the original resolution.
Okay. All right, moving on to executive session in pursuant of the Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22 G1 and 121.22 G4. I move that we enter into an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee.
Second.
All right. Well, we enter into motion of executive session. Time is 6:24. I'm sorry, roll call.
Trustee Mack,
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
and Trustee Young.
Yes. Our time now is entering into executive session, 6:24 p.m.
Can you invite myself and the fire chief in, please?
Okay, at this time, I make a motion that we exit executive session.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, roll call, exited at time 6:43. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, motion that we adjourned, yes.
Yes.
Okay, work session ends at time 6:44.
Turn on your mic, Mike. No, we turned it off because we were talking.
Good evening, everyone. This is March 4th, 2025. We'll begin the Jefferson Township regular session. We'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. At this time, we'll take a moment of silence to honor the military, firefighters, road workers, and sheriff's deputies as they serve our community here and abroad. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Present.
Trustee Back. Trustee Young.
Present. Up next is the EMS billing presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, trustees. My name is Jim Prestis. I'm from Ambulance Billing Network. With me tonight is Jen Prestis back here. That is both my wife, the president and owner of Ambulance Billing Network, so we call her the boss. So I'm just planning on giving you kind of the 30,000-foot summary of the presentation you have in front of you. If while we're going through this you have any questions, please feel free to stop me, ask any questions you like. We're here to answer those. I just wanted to give you an overview of Ambulance Billing Network, tell you who we are, kind of what we do, and give you some information on what we've done for some other folks in nearby agencies. So our company was founded in 2015 by a firefighter paramedic. It is currently owned by my wife, and we are a woman-owned, woman-operated company, and we are based here in Moraine, Ohio. Our focus is on 911 and private EMS, ambulance ground transportation billing, and we provide efficient and most importantly compliant billing services. We also provide fire cost recovery billing services if the township were ever decided that they wanted to do such. Our leadership staff brings over 75 years combined experience in ground ambulance transport billing. All of our staff, our entire staff, are all certified ambulance coders. So that is certified by the National Academy of Ambulance Compliance. And it's really the only national standard in ambulance coding certification. We emphasize a local partnership approach with our agencies. We stand out as a high-quality, client-focused service provider. And our office in Moraine is actually only about 12 minutes from here. We had traffic issues and still made it in 2013. So kind of a overall view of our services, kind of that 30,000 view. We import your EPCR data, your patient care electronic reporting data, and your patient demographic data automatically from your software to our software. And then we use the latest technology to identify your patient coverage, insurance coverage, and also verify your patient demographics. So basically, we have automatic searches for those through our technological tools. We provide certified coding and accurate electronic billing through our electronic clearinghouse. And we have specially trained accounts receivable folks that work the back end. So basically, your denials, your appeals, your rejection of claims, that group, that's all they do. They don't code, they don't bill, they just work the back end. And to be honest with you, that's about 20% of your revenue. So if your billing company is just putting out claims and they're not working the back end, chances are you're losing income that's available to you. And of course, we have an insurance approach. We want to bill insurance whenever possible so that we can keep from billing your patients in the community. And then what we do is we gather your deposit information from your bank reports. We post those payments, and then we provide you with financial reconciliation each month in our standard reporting package. Some other services we supply, we take care of all your patient inquiries. So when your patients call, they don't call the fire department, they actually call us when it comes to billing questions. And we actually will report to you anything that they report to us. If they give a complaint or a compliment, we'll actually turn those right around and give you those within 24 hours. We also handle your legal documentation requests. So if a lawyer calls and they want information from the patient, billing record, or even the patient care report, we will actually take care of that for you. We have a certified ambulance privacy officer on our staff, as well as a certified compliance officer on our staff. So we actually verify that all your legal requests are valid and that the information can be shared before we send that out. And then we also provide an online patient portal so that they can make payments online. And we also specialize in training. So we will actually come here on site and do training with all your EMS providers to keep them up to date on any documentation requirements that the insurance industry, the Medicare, Medicaid, and then all the different HMOs and insurance companies, all their rules. We'll train your folks on the requirements there so that they understand. Because when it comes to EMS, a provider wants to know why. Why does the billing company want this information? Well, the billing company doesn't want this information. The insurance companies want that information. And we stay abreast of all the changes and there's a lot of changes that they make on a year-to-year basis. And then we come out and train and make sure that you folks understand what those are as well. Of course, all of our processes are HIPAA compliant, and we follow all state, federal, Medicare, Medicaid rules, regulations. We follow the OIG recommendations on third-party billing or medical billing. And we provide secure systems for the transfer of data. We actually supply a Microsoft Teams portal that your folks will be able to log into, and that's where we'll share information. Because we don't put customer information out there in emails and out there on the internet. It's actually on SFTP basis, so it's all secure. So transitioning from your current billing company to our services. We've seen in the last year, some of your local neighboring agencies were forced to change billing companies. Their billing company decided that they were done and they were not going to supply services anymore. And we had to do some very quick transitions. Because we're a smaller company and it makes us more flexible, we're able to make that transition very quickly, very efficiently, and get you guys billing again without a severe dip in income. So where most billing companies might take a month to make that transition, we will actually start billing for you folks in days. We will go out to your EPCR electronic portal. We will get your data. We will import it. As soon as we have that, we can begin the billing process. So we will do this very quickly for you. And we were able to do that for those folks. We'll do it for you folks too. Reporting, we provide monthly reporting, and we have a large standard package that we send out. It includes monthly KPIs, payer mix, aging, claims billed, transports performed, claims paid, and a lot of information there. And all of our reporting is very straightforward and upfront and understandable. There's a lot of reporting out there that looks really pretty, but it's meaningless. It doesn't, you can't get anything out of it. Our reporting is very straightforward. And some samples of that are there, and you can see what those are. And then there's also a list of other reports that we can do. In addition to that, we can supply ad hoc reports. And the chief calls up today and says, hey, I need this information. Or your financial folks, Ms. Jens, calls and says, hey, I need this information. We'll run that report and give it to you in days. So we work extremely closely with all of our agencies. We take a one-on-one approach. So I provided some data, probably on the last page there. I provided some data and some performance data that we've accomplished in the last year on some of these quick transitions. So you'll see 3 agencies information. I think it's one more page there. 3 different agencies. Agency number 1, we're comparing the old billing company's 2023 performance to our 2024 performance month by month, and then we average those out. So that agency number 1 saw a 35.6% increase in revenue since we started last year in April, May timeframe. The second agency, the billing company they were using wasn't doing very well, to be honest with you. And we've seen an average of 84% increase in their revenue. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen, but unfortunately, their performance wasn't very good before.
What happened in November? Why it was 0?
So all that is our increase on theirs month to month,
Gotcha.
right? So basically, we
Okay.
leveled with them in November.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly looked at that report too when I did it. I thought, why did that go to 0?
Yeah. Gotcha.
So the third agency saw a 41% increase. And this is very typical of our performance across the board. We look at all of our customers. There's a customer that we've been billing since 2019. Every year since 2019, we've increased their revenue, and they're up to about 35% overall increase in revenue. And they didn't think their old billing company was doing that poorly. But I think we've shown them that our approach, run by run, making sure that every single run that can be billed is billed, working with the fire departments directly to make sure that if something isn't compliant, why isn't it compliant? Can it be fixed? Is it a signature issue? It's a signature issue. We work with them to get that signature issue resolved so that we can bill those claims. We don't just bill what's given to us, toss away what isn't compliant, and let that money go. We work every claim to its finale, whether it can be paid or in some cases, not every claim is paid, but we work to get as many claims paid as possible. So you can see that we've made significant improvements. And in summary, I just want to say that we're not going to be just a third-party billing company for you folks. We're going to be a partner. We're going to work with Chief Wilcox. We're going to work with your EMS providers we'll get to know your EMS providers as well as he does. We'll know their reports, we'll know, who does well, who doesn't do well. And we'll make sure that we work with them to make sure that they do everything that they can. Our local service and attention to detail, I don't believe can be matched by anybody. Especially companies, there's billing companies out there with hundreds of agencies. They can't provide the level of service that we do because we bill currently for less than 30 agencies. We're never going to have hundreds of agencies. That's not how we work. We couldn't give that level of service that we did every year. So that's just who we are. So we hope to be working with you soon. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. If indeed you'd like to take some time to go through that presentation. Yes, sir.
So, my question is not really towards you. Your presentation looks very good. I like what you're saying, but my question is to the chief. So, from your standpoint, chief, how is the data, is there a difference in how the data is getting transferred to this provider versus our existing provider? Is it more headache, more time, is there a big difference, a big changeover in how you're transferring the data that he's using to get our claims?
Sorry, Mom. The way it is right now, it's automated once a week. The current software in the hospital transmits the stuff to the billing company where they go out every few days, is that right? And they manually pull it in to ensure that nothing's lost. So they go out to retrieve it
So
themselves.
no different from your end then. You're doing the pulling of the data?
It's all sight unseen to you folks. Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll actually go in. He'll give us a login. We'll
Okay.
go in probably about 3 times a week and download those runs ourselves. And they will automatically come into our software.
Okay.
And you folks won't know, honestly, that we've done it. We'll just do it every week. The other thing that we do is we actually look and see with the bigger billing company, if I'm billing for a billing company with 500 agencies, and I'm a coder, and I've got 35 agencies to code for, if you don't send me runs for 15 days, ooh, I'm happy that I don't have those runs. Not us. If you don't give me runs for 7 days, send an email, send a friendly reminder, we don't have runs. Because the QA process, people take off, and the QA process sometimes, gets delayed. So we'll let you know if it gets to 10 days, then we'll send you another one. Hey, I haven't seen any runs for 10 days. Maybe we're having the EPCR software problem. Maybe PSO that we're using isn't sending or creating the download correctly. So we'll call and make sure that everything's fine. And usually what happens is, well, we got by on QA, and we'll get those over to you. But we're watching. We know if you send us runs. And if we miss it, we're on. The other thing is at the end of the month, what we'll do is we'll send a reconciliation. And generally speaking, I actually go into the software, I do a report, download all the runs, and get all the incident numbers. I compare them to what we have in our system and make sure that I got all your runs. And then we'll have a conversation about that. And some of those runs were non-transports, or you didn't find a patient and you didn't intend to send them to me, which is fine. But we just make sure that we're getting all the runs that you intend for us to have. You bet. So yeah, please take time to go through that. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I think I forgot to give you a card. I'll give you a card.
Thank you.
Please feel free to reach out.
Thanks.
We're happy to answer any questions. And I did want to say, on the timing chart there, we had to pick a date. And we said, okay, here's the date that we expect to have a contract. And I think I said the end of the week. That's not set in stone. That was just a date, right? So whenever we set that, it's going to be basically, however many days after that. And for the most part, what's going to happen is we sign a contract. Beth and I will be out here in about 2 days. And we'll sit down and we'll go through we have a sheet that we'll send you ahead of time that says this is all the information we're going to need. We'll go through all that information. We'll gather all that. We'll take it back, we'll put it in our system, we'll build our billing system to match your requirements. And, even down to how you do your patient billing. Whatever those parameters are, we set those parameters up in our system to make sure that they're customized to your needs. And then we're gonna be billing in days, 4 or 5 days. We're gonna start billing. Then we're gonna get your electronic billing set up within about 7 to 10 days. And we're gonna be billing electronically, just like we never stop. So we're gonna make sure that you don't see that dip in income that you'll see a lot of times, because a lot of billing companies will take 30 to 60 days to get you guys billing again. So. You bet. Thank
Okay.
you very much for
Right.
your time, folks.
you.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Up next is the approval of regular meeting minutes for February 26, 2025.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the regular meeting minutes for February 26, 2025.
All right. Roll call.
Trustee Back,
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
Trustee Young.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay, up next is the fiscal officer report.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, I finally got 2024 closed, which kind of lightened my stress level. I'm still working on January reconciliation because we're transferring over to computer. I can't do anything until the computer is transferred over to the new one they sent us. Trustee McLaughlin has asked me to do 3 reports to go to the trustees. I'll start that at next meeting because I can't get into the computer yet.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So it's getting upgraded. I have completed most of the work for USDA. I just have 2 forms I have to send them, and that'll be done for them that they required for this month. And this is month 11 for me. Stress is coming down, but it has not gone away. So don't stress me out because I'll still threaten to quit, okay? So, be patient with me. And that's all I have for tonight.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept fiscal officer report and pay the bills.
I'll second it.
All right. Roll call.
Trustee Back? Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
And Trustee Young?
Yes. Motion carries. Okay, up next is the public comments.
First speaker is David Sloan.
Wait.
Okay.
He's gonna make a,
Speakers are to walk up to the podium. Please state your name and address. Speakers are only permitted to address the trustees one time with no rebuttal provided. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes to address the trustees. Once your 3 minutes concludes, the speaker will be asked to cease comments and return to their seat.
Okay, Mr. Sloan doesn't want to come up now. Mr. Clifford?
Rusty Clifford, Superintendent, Jefferson Township Local Schools. Just wanted you to know that it's hard to believe that there's only 64 days left until May 6th. 64 days until till we're on the ballot, which we are. And wanted to remind everyone that the strategic plan that we set last June, right, is really driving our focus and our alignment in the Jefferson Township Local School District. Our ag ed program is really picking up steam now. We've got our welding, construction, small engine repair underway in the lab. We've got our horticulture going on in the greenhouse right now, and we're looking forward to small animal care in the barn this spring. Speaking of spring, track practice started last week, and it was great. Nice weather today to actually get outside and get some work done. So that was fun for everybody. But just want to remind everybody that, for the Jefferson Township Local Schools, 2008, 17 years ago, was the last time that we received new money in the district. And the signage that you'll start seeing soon talks about, it says, invest in our students, Jefferson Township, and our futures. Because we know that together we can, together we will, together we must, because we can. We created a mission statement that says to prepare students in our community, right, to compete, succeed, and excel in a complex, diverse, and changing future. Our vision statement says to be the school district and community of choice in Montgomery County. And our core values of visionary leadership, student-centered excellence, valuing people, agility and resilience, organizational learning, management by fact, and delivering results is really driving the focus of our entire school year. And our brand is what's really critical, because our brand in the Jefferson Township Local Schools is learning is our product. It's also our most important process. And our students have been doing a lot of that this year, and all of the students this year in the state of Ohio only have 13 days before the start of assessment season. And that's when all of the assessments are given across the state to all grade levels, and well, through high school, as they take assessments in language arts, math, and science, and social studies as they move forward. So just wanted to get the word out there, remind folks that it's a 1.5% earned income tax, not a property tax. And an earned income tax is a much fairer tax in a community like ours. We're 30 square miles, and a very large portion of that is very rich, fertile farmland. And an earned income tax is a much fairer tax for the community than a property tax. And right now, property tax in Ohio, those are two bad words right now. I mean, it is, we know that everybody, in Montgomery County took an average of a 34% increase in property taxes. I think there's over 20 bills have already been introduced to combat, come up with a solution for property tax in Ohio.
Okay, thanks, Russ.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Ms. Gilbert.
Well, it's not a plan to come the same night as the superintendent, but you'll like how it goes along. Lucy Gilbert. I wanted to keep in touch with you regarding the small-scale solar facilities issue. At the town hall meeting last year, there was overwhelming support for preserving and maintaining farmland in Jefferson Township. There was not a single supporter of small-scale solar facilities on farmland. Not knowing how connected and in touch you are with agriculture in Jefferson Township, I would like to share the agricultural highlights of Jefferson Township. Number one, there are only 2 public land-grant universities in the state of Ohio that designate research and resources to agriculture: Ohio State University and Central State University. Jefferson Township is home to Montgomery County's Ohio State University Extension Agency, which brings agricultural research-based expertise straight to the people. 2, Jefferson Township is home to the county's agricultural show, the Montgomery County Fair, with approximately 184 H-youth exhibitors representing youth from approximately 15 local school districts. And 3, the most significant highlight is this: Jefferson Township School. There are 16 public schools in Montgomery County, 4 of which offer an agricultural education program funded by the MVCTC, meaning salary funding of the teacher. As of this school year, for the first time in school history, Jefferson Township Local School District has an agricultural education program. It is an enormous success and has an agriculture enrollment of 108 students in grades 7 through 12.
Woo!
This ranks Jefferson Township School number 1 in Montgomery County behind Miamisburg, Brookville, and Valley View Schools, which is a huge accomplishment given that Jefferson not only is the smallest public school in the county, but one of the smallest in the state. Of note, across the 4 counties that the MVCTC serves, Jefferson Township Schools ranks 4th overall in enrollment in agriculture. Jefferson Township Schools' agricultural facility is officially complete and boasts a classroom, a large wood shop and welding shop, a small engine room, a conference room, tool rooms, a wood storage room, a greenhouse, and a barn. Agriculture is Ohio's #1 industry, and so much agricultural activity, interest, and growth is happening right here in Jefferson Township. A February 19th, 2025 Dayton Daily News article about Ohio needing more farmers stated that people are wanting to learn how to farm. They are wanting a healthy outdoor work life and fresh food. Well, let's skip ahead. She's going to cut me off. I again would like to stress to you to place solar facilities on industrial zone property only, not on agricultural zone property and productive farm lands. I'm going to provide you with German Township's small solar facility regulations that were completed 9 months ago as a result of a threat to agricultural land. And this is for general industrial districts only. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks, Lucy. Is there any?
Our last speaker is Ms. Perry.
Good evening, trustees of Jefferson Township. I am proud of the community I live in. I'm proud of the community I live in, especially now that they see that even if we have the fairground system, which probably later disturbs a lot of people, and a lot of people can't go to it because RTA is not planning to do something like that for people who want to go to the fair without a car. Problem 1. Problem 2, their biggest fair or sales seems to be when they sell guns. That's a problem. Everybody's talking about violence of some type. Well, around here, guess where? Fairgrounds. Next. People are starting to move here, but they don't understand the rules. What I mean by that, and I revert, I'll say it again. They don't understand the rules. Reason being, I've got a dog. I take him for a walk down the area. Maybe around from Alton, Timberlane, and Bergen. Sad thing is, there's a lot of people who don't understand when to put your trash out. So, my dog decides where he wants to do his business. Like, not fair. I saw something, there was a commercial when I was young, a Native American, and he was looking at how people were polluting the water, trashing the air, and everything like that. I got a chance to see it. It was at 91. I think that's the house behind me. And there's a lot of signs there, and trash there, and overstuffed trash, and all that overstuffed trash, eventually, if it's windy now and it's going to rain tonight, it's a problem. It's a definite problem. And the people move out here and they do whatever they want. Do whatever they want. Now, I have a little bit more respect for my area, my neighbors, and everything like that. But when you have no respect for your community, your area, your neighbors, shame on you. That's mainly my biggest problem. To walk a dog around and see all this trash on the ground. Now, we're finally getting away from snow. 2 of the houses that were sold before, one of them, the lady is a house next door because she had dogs, pit bulls to be exact. And if we can't clean this up, our neighbors are gonna start moving in with pit bulls. And I know of a loose one now. Thank you. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Marion.
No more speakers.
Okay. Up next is resolutions for consideration. Starting with Resolution 25-034, Jefferson Township Board of Trustees do hereby hire Dr. William Bailey as the Public Safety Liaison. I'd like to make a motion that we accept Resolution 25034.
Okay, so, now it's been we have a few questions. First off, just the position itself, I was curious when this position was officially approved in a public meeting to have a liaison. I don't remember that being done, first. Second, I was told in the meetings, after I asked about in the interview process, I was told that this position is being posted, made for, to a go-between the township and residents, between the sheriff and residents, and issues we have in the meetings and the problems that some of the residents have. Well, we only have a handful of residents that come to the meetings and complain about issues. And when they complain about the issues, it really has to do with the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department is doing their job. It has to do with a dog. It has to do with shooting a gun. You can shoot a gun in Jefferson Township. I do it myself. It's legal. It is an amendment. It's in our Constitution. We have the right to do that. For the $60,000 plus that we're spending for this position, we could put another officer on the streets with the sheriff's department. So that, and then when the interviews actually happened, I was never officially notified of the meeting for the interviews. I had a resident call me, "Hey, what's that meeting tomorrow for?" "What meeting?" And I look in my emails, I have nothing. I look on the township website, I have nothing. I call him up. "How did you hear about that?" "It was on Facebook." And there again, I was never officially notified of the meeting for the interviews for this position. And I really don't think we need the position. I don't think it's in the best interest of the township to spend the monies from the police funds for an issue with a few residents of the township.
Trustee Young,
Yes.
Trustee Batt,
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
No.
Motion carried.
And perhaps if you read your emails, you would see that.
I read my emails. It was not an email back.
No, you don't. You don't read.
I read my emails. It was not an email.
You don't even know what's going on till you get here. That's true. That's it. I'm sorry. And I think just a couple of people are having issues. We need to take a look at that. It shouldn't just be a certain group of people. We should represent the entire township, not certain people.
Agreed.
Okay, up next is Resolution 25035. Jefferson Township Board of Trustees do hereby add the probation term to the hiring of Derek Burgess as the Economic Development Coordinator. I make a motion that we accept Resolution 25035. Roll call, please.
Trustee Batt,
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin,
No.
and Trustee Young.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, up next is the swearing in of lieutenants. Chief?
I'm actually gonna step in for Steve. We are here today for the swearing-in ceremony for Lieutenant Matt Eagle with the Jefferson Township Fire Department. Fire and EMS are some of the world's most honored but dangerous professions. When there is an emergency in the community, first responders are on their way to assist you. They are there at the devastating ravages of fires, motor vehicle accidents, tornadoes, hazardous material incidents, rescue operation, explosions, medical emergencies, and many other critical incidents. Fire department lieutenants are civil servants as sworn officers, following standard policies and procedures of the fire service and standard operating procedures of their department. They are there to prevent human suffering and death, to stabilize the incident and prevent damages and loss of property. It is a great honor to have the opportunity to swear in Matthew T. Eagle as a lieutenant with the Jefferson Township Fire Department. Will you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Matthew T. Eagle, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Ohio against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, and I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as a lieutenant of the Jefferson Township Fire Department of Montgomery County, Ohio, under the appointment of the department according to the laws of Ohio, to the best of my skills and abilities, so help me God. Congratulations.
That's right. We need little things up here.
Yeah, you're good to go. Thanks for coming. Okay, department reports. They got my folder with my
And they have your pin down there too, just so you know.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, up next is department reports, starting with Sheriff's Department.
Again, my name is Walt Steele. Yell at me. Again, my name is Walt Steele. I'm the new captain out here in Jefferson Township. I took over for Captain Flag, but now is Major Flag is promoted at the Sheriff's Office. With the monthly stats, there was 89 reports in January, 317 assists, 533 dispatches, 5 misdemeanor arrests, 70 traffic stops, 8 crash reports, 4 warrant arrests, and 6 felony arrests. This overall crime decreased by 56% compared to last January 2024. along 3rd Street and US 35 saw the most activity during this period. In December 17th, District 7 held an impact meeting for Jefferson Township residents. The main topic of discussion was centered around recreational shooting in townships, with discussion on current Ohio Revised Code, prosecutors' opinions, and future trends being discussed by the Ohio Township Association. Traffic services in Jefferson Township investigated 5 traffic crashes. One was a hit and run. As far as the environmental crimes, Deputy Amlin his crew picked up 107 bags of trash in the Jefferson Township moraine area, and Deputy Jackson got 1 new case in Jefferson Township from a dumping case. January 6, 2025, deputies responded to the 6,000 block of Dayton Farmersville, reference to a victim of a robbery at gunpoint. The suspect took off and was later located and arrested and found to be in possession of the handgun. On January 7th, 2025, deputies were dispatched to the 9,000 block of Hempel, reference to a breaking and entering. They arrived there and located 2 subjects and found property from inside the house. The male swallowed narcotics during the arrest and was taken to the hospital. Once he was medically cleared, the male and female were taken to jail, reference to the breaking into the residence. On January 23rd, 2025, a deputy was conducting a traffic stop on South Iona. The driver fled. The deputy slipped on ice and had to go to Miami Valley for minor injuries, and a warrant was issued for the suspect. And that's basically the stats I have for January.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Captain Steele. Up next is fire.
Oh, I thought you said flag. Wouldn't that be him? All right. Hopefully I can get through this without coughing on everybody. This is the fire department report for February 2025. Station maintenance, we continue to clean and sanitize the stations. The flu ran rampant through the fire department for January and February. If you are sick and you have a fever, stay home. Don't go out roaming around contaminating everybody, and that's really kind of what we had in the fire department. EMS, fire, HR, we're continuing to train our new firefighters that the trustees hired in the last few months. They are on orientation, and several of them ready to wrap that up and be released as second crew members. Statistics for February, we had 106 calls, 80 were EMS runs, 4 fires, and 22 other types of service. We installed 3 smoke detectors from the fire department stash and 2 from homeowners. We are running out of smoke detectors. We are attempting to try to get grants or other donations. But again, if you purchase your own carbon monoxide or smoke detectors, the fire department will be happy to come out and install it for you. Vehicle maintenance-wise, Medic 59, had a heater hose replaced by a vendor. Medic 60 had a rear compartment door repaired, and that was done in-house, so we saved the citizens money by doing it ourselves. Miscellaneous, candles continue to be a source of structure fires in the township. We had one just recently where a candle was left unattended and set the house on fire. Do not leave ceiling fans and bathroom exhaust fans on for extended period of time. We've had that where someone will turn on a bathroom exhaust fan light, and it ran for 8 days straight. And it shorted out, overheated, and caught the bathroom on fire. Same with ceiling fans. They should not be left on for weeks at a time. I mean, turn it on, utilize it to move the air around as you need, but turn them off. Leaving them on, you're just asking for trouble. Burn ban went into effect a few days ago. So March, April, May, between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., there's to be no open burning. You can see with the wind we have outside, how those embers, look at California, those embers go up, they go over, and they drop on someone's home. So be very, very careful with that. Again, call 911. People will call my office, which will come to my house in West Carrollton in the middle of the night. There's nothing I can do for you. I cannot send you a fire engine. Hang up, dial 911. You'll get to the dispatcher, give them the proper information, and they'll get someone out to you. But there is to be no burning of any man-made items. That is illegal. And RAPCA, the Regional Air Pollution Control Agency, has been out a few times in the last week or two, issuing citations. If you are burning too close to someone's house, it's got to be 1,000 feet away from an occupied structure. Cannot be any bigger, 5 by 5 by 5. So 45 feet long, 30 feet wide, and 15 feet high. You're going to get the air pollution control people and us out there. So again, be very careful. And until May 31st, there's no burning during the day, just due to the wind and the atmospheric conditions, and then all the dry items on the ground. I almost made it. Any questions from the trustees? All
Thanks,
right,
Chief.
I appreciate you. Thanks.
Okay. Up next would be roads. They're not here this evening, so we'll move on to administration.
Zoning and code enforcement today, because Mr. Derek just started a week ago. Sure, I'll let Larry, they spent the most time together.
Code enforcement conducted 26 inspections and violations. All 26 of those were routine. 6 of them were complaint-driven inspections. There were a total of 26 property maintenance violations issued, no building code violations, and we're starting to see some voluntary compliance. 9 of those cases were resolved through voluntary compliance. A total of $800 in fines issued. I have 17 ongoing cases with an action plan in place. Property Maintenance Board met last month. That was our community meeting. And code enforcement welcomes Mr. Burgess. We spent time together on Wednesday, taking him around the township, showing him some of the concerned areas and some of where the businesses are. And that's all code enforcement has.
Hi, everybody. The zoning report, resident permits that has been issued for, since first of the year is 15. Commercial permits is 12. The total permits is 27. Let's see, violations addressed, I've had 56. 13 have been corrected. I'm still working on 43. 2 houses built, no permits. 6 sheds, no permits. 6 people living in campers. 17 fences. 9 barns, no permits. 1 deck. 1 porch. A new addition. We had 1 BZA hearing in January. The case was approved. It was for an 80-foot stack added to the pollution control device at Ballacor. And this month, on the 20th of March at 6 p.m., we will be having 2 BZA cases. And that's all I have. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Up next is trustee reports and comments, starting off with.
Only update I have for you is the portal is open for the Neighborhood Leadership Institute. I believe it will be open until the end of this month. It is our 3rd year of doing this program. If you know anyone who would be interested in it, which pretty much you get to learn not only about the township, but all the partners that we work with as well to actually function. It is a great program for individuals who are interested in Jefferson Township, interested in taking on more roles, trying to figure out or learn about how things do operate in that piece of it. There are several graduates now at this point. I think we have about 25 graduates from the first 2 years combined. So we are actively looking for individuals to come on. You can sign up on the website. You can sign up on Facebook. It goes to the same link to get it in the program. And it is a 8-week course, once a week, nightly meeting, where you just get to learn a lot about community, government, and how all the things work together.
So, and I had numerous phone calls. I had a question, a couple different, at different times. One was a few months ago. What does it take to make our meetings live? They see the meetings go on YouTube, and they run, a little bit behind, and those meetings are just I had people question, I don't know I'm not a YouTube expert. I don't know what would be involved in making our meetings live on YouTube.
I have to check so we did that, my first year here, we tried that, but the streaming capability of what we had from our internet perspective kept cutting it off, so I can look into it. I may need to call someone in to find that period out.
The guy sitting next to you is a guru on electronic stuff. He would know that.
Yeah, it may be fast because that Calumet, it was just a no-go for us.
That's exactly what I was
completely.
getting at. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Is that all from administration? Okay, up next is trustee reports and comments, starting with trustee McLaughlin.
Yeah, okay, so as I just stated, had numerous phone calls, I adjusted, I need to speak to you, Karen, about a few things afterwards, about a phone call, some questions on some permits. And then I've had numerous comments on that, and I've been here 7 years, and that all in all, we had a good presentation today, and things are getting better in the township, but all in all, it seems like the same things are going on, just different people. So that's all I got.
Up next is trustee Back.
So, the zoning officer, Karen and myself, we did a tour of the ag, building, and it's very, very nice. If you get an opportunity, to go out and take a look at it, superintendent, he was able to take us on the tour, and it's very impressive. It's very impressive. That's all I can say. If you get an opportunity, you would like to go out there and, check that out. Met with the administrator for my one-on-one, received and forwarded calls to the appropriate department. I also reached out to a resident who was very unhappy with the explanation of how the zoning department works. And after speaking with her for a while, she seemed to get a better understanding. And so hopefully that she will understand what Karen's job is and what her role is not. I also met with the EDC for our Jefferson Township Planning Day, Community Day, and we're just actively working on getting that up and going for the up and coming year. And I actually went out and checked out, there's a culvert pipe on Forney Road that seems to be past its expiration. So I went out there and checked that out, and yeah. So, but that's pretty much what I've done.
Okay. I don't have anything to report out this period. I make a motion that we adjourn this evening's regular session.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Young,
Yes.
trustee Back,
Yes.
and trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 7:57.